Welcome to our second panel of the day in the Geneva Health Forum. My name is Ariana Alcorta, and I will be your moderator in this panel. Since I'm alone presenting in the studio today, I will be removing my mask. I'm keeping also a safe distance from our cameramen, who are keeping their masks on. It's a real pleasure to be joining you today in the comfort of your homes. Before we begin this session, let me remind you that you can all leave your comments and questions in the chat box of this platform. We will be addressing them at the end of this panel. In today's discussion, we will be analyzing the importance to blend traditional medicine and conventional medicine. Understanding the differences or choices between the two is vital to achieve universal health coverage that is centered on people. In conventional or modern medicine, doctors usually use a prescription of drugs, surgery, or radiation to treat patients. Traditional medical systems, by contrast, has a long history. It is the sum of theories and experiences based on practices and beliefs by different indigenous cultures to maintain the health and also to treat physical and mental illnesses. In some Asian and African countries, up to 80% of the population rely on traditional medical systems as their primary healthcare needs. Traditional medicine from India, in particular, is becoming a growing trend globally. The Indian government has developed a holistic term for this traditional medicine called Ayush. These term encompasses different traditional streams like Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. Today, we will be specifically talking about Ayurveda and Unani and how they positively complement modern medicine, even in the sanitary crisis that we're living today. In this session, we will be focusing on, like I said, Ayurveda and Unani, and I'm going to be starting to introduce our speakers today. First is Sanjeev Sharma, Director of the National Institute of Ayurveda in the Government of India, and Asim Ali Khan, Director General of the Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, also in the Government of India. Sanjeev, let's start with you. Ayurveda is one of the oldest healthcare systems in the globe. It means science of life. So can we start by talking a little bit about the benefits of this medical practices, as well as why it has become so popular in India and globally, really?
Thank you. Am I audible?
We can hear you perfectly.
Hello, am I audible? Okay, thank you. So, very good afternoon from India. Esteemed organizers of Geneva Health Forum, representative of Indian Ministry of External Affairs and Indian missions, Dr. Piyush, all esteemed dignitaries, participants on the virtual platform, and Alcorta, the moderator of the session. My thanks on behalf of Republic of India and Ministry of Ayush to the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my views on the subject Ayurveda. As it is a known fact that Ayurveda, in fact in India, the plural health system exists, and Ayurveda is one of them. Ayurveda is considered to be the oldest healing science, having its roots in the Vedic literature, the oldest literature available on this planet. In Sanskrit, Ayurveda means the science of life. Ayurvedic knowledge originated in India more than 5,000 years ago and is often called the mother of all healings. It was taught for many thousands of years in oral tradition from accomplished scholars to their disciples. Some of the knowledge which was shared at that time is present in the and available in the written form also, and now that literature is being used to expand our knowledge and to share that knowledge globally. Ayurveda has a holistic approach towards health and defines the aspects which are conducive and harmful to life. It is a way of living rather than a medical science. Its laws are based on the fundamental laws of the nature, and its principles are do not contradict the nature's balance and harmony. Ayurveda places great emphasis on the prevention, promotion, and encourages the maintenance of health through close attention to balance in one's life, right thinking, diet, lifestyle, and the use of medication. Knowledge of Ayurveda enables one to understand how to create this balance of body, mind, and consciousness according to one's own individual constitution, and how to make lifestyle changes to bring about and maintain this balance. Just as everyone has unique fingerprints, each person has a particular pattern of energy, an individual combination of physical, mental, and emotional characteristics, what we call as prakriti. And prakriti is very important component of Ayurveda, which comprises their patient's own constitution. This constitution is determined at the time of conception by a number of factors and remain the same throughout the life. Many factors, both internal and external, act upon us to disturb this balance of prakriti or this balance of constitution and are reflected as a change in one's constitution from the balanced state. Examples of these emotional and physical stresses include one's emotional state, diet and food choices, seasons and weather, physical trauma, work and family relationships. Once these factors are understood, one can take appropriate actions to nullify or minimize their effects or eliminate the causes of imbalance and re-establish one's original constitution. Balance is the natural order, imbalance is disorder. Health is order, disease is disorder. Within the body, there is a constant interaction between the order and disorder. When one understands the nature and structure of the disorder, one can re-establish the order. And this is the major principle of Ayurveda, that we have to maintain the homeostasis within ourselves and homeostasis in between the ourselves and the nature or the universe. This is the major principle of Ayurveda. So far as the Ministry of Ayush is concerned, in India, there are two independent ministries for the care of healthcare needs. One is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is full-fledged ministry which takes care of the conventional health system. And then there is another ministry that is called as the Ministry of Ayush. Ministry of Ayush is the ministry which takes care of, regulates the education, the research, the practice, and all other administrative jobs are done through Ministry of Ayush. The components of Ministry of Ayush are Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, and Soa Rigpa. And the regulation of Ayurveda, so far as the regulation of Ayurveda is concerned, it is regulated through the IMCC Act 1970. That is very important act under which this and all Indian systems of medicines, they are regulated through this this act, except homeopathy, which is regulated by separate act, that is HCC Act 1973. So far as the organizational setup of Ayurveda is concerned, under the Ministry of Ayush, there is one central council for research in Ayurveda sciences. And then there are 5 national institute of Ayurveda. There are pharmacopoeial laboratories, and there is National Medicinal Plant Board. There is National Ayush Mission, and there is NHM, National Health Mission also. So these are the flagships of Ayurveda. And now Ayurveda is also being incorporated under the PMJY, Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, which is the world's largest health insurance sector scheme, and Ayurveda is also being brought under that umbrella of PMJAY, that insurance scheme, that is free healthcare system to all the deserving candidates. So far as the teaching institutions are concerned, the total number of teaching institutions of Ayurveda in India is approximately 400 undergraduate colleges are there, with the intake capacity of more than 25,000 per annum. There are totals about 7 lakh Ayurveda practitioners, they are there in the country. So far as postgraduate institutions in the country are concerned, there are about 150 postgraduate institutions, and with the intake of around about 6,000 scholars per annum. Around about 3,200 government hospitals are there, 7.5 thousand drug manufacturing units are there. Then there is published pharmacopoeia, formularies are published there, and then there are quality certifications also. GMP, good manufacturing practices certification is there. WHO GMP, Ayush standard mark, Ayush premium mark, NABH, NAC, NABL, NIRF, so many other quality certification systems are there. Ayurveda has, and Ayush as a whole has also taken so many public health initiatives in India. And there are, as I already said, there are so many flagship programs of Ayush and Ayurveda, NHM, NAM, and central sectoral program. So far as the integration of this Ayurveda and Ayush with the conventional system, or the integration of within the system is concerned, Government of India is trying hard, and this is the desire, because this Ayurveda and Ayush is the integral part of our culture in India. So the integration of the conventional health system and Ayurveda is very, very important, and Government of India is trying hard to get these systems integrated, so that there is the dream of our government that there should be one nation and one health system, and that is the dream. And for the fulfillment of that dream, the government is trying hard to integrate these systems, and for that so many other steps has been taken to integrate the systems. So this was just a brief about Ayurveda and Ayurveda setup in our country. Thank you. Over to you, Elcott.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev. I wanted to ask you as well, and once again a bit, why is it now so popular globally? I think yoga and Ayurveda are two of the most popular medical streams within the Ayush term that India has managed to export globally. So what do you think it is? Are there any particular benefits that you think right now are becoming a growing trend?
Yeah, the Ayurveda and yoga. See, the approach of Ayurveda and yoga as well is holistic. We and Ayurveda see the human being as a whole, not a system wise or tissue wise or in cellular at cellular level, but as a whole. And another important beauty of Ayurveda is that Ayurveda see the human being along with the nature. Our principles of Ayurveda are not contradictory to nature. We say that whatsoever is happening in the universe, everything is happening and everything is there within our body. So everything which is happening in the universe is having great impact on our body and mind. So Ayurveda says that we should respect and care the nature. Once we respect and care the nature, and we behave according to the nature and according to the changes which are occurring in the nature, then we can remain healthy. We cannot live in isolation. Human being is not is a separate entity. It is the part of the nature. It is within the nature. It is by the nature, and it is for the nature. So our approach is like that, and that is why the Ayurveda is becoming more and more popular. And second thing, the Ayurveda talks more about on the preventive aspect of the diseases. Once we follow all the Ayurvedic principles, we can prevent the diseases. We can immunize our body. We can enhance and enrich our immune system, so we can prevent the diseases. And if by chance diseases occur, then it talks about treatment also. But the main fact of Ayurveda is that it talks about the prevention. It talks about the nature. It is in line with the nature.
So much, Sanjeev. Really incredible description of what Ayurveda is and the impact on the world. Now, Asim, I want to go with you right now and to elaborate a bit more about the benefits on Unani, also one of the most ancient medical practices in the world. Asim, so I know Unani originated in Greece and then traveled to many parts of the world before making India its permanent home. Am I right? Asim?
Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. Am I audible, Alkota?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly. Can we elaborate a little bit about on the benefits also on Unani?
Thank you very much. Uh, Thank you very much, the organizers, the Indian Mission, my esteemed participants who are today with us. A very good afternoon, greetings from India. As I'm supposed to speak about Unani system of medicine, as far as the Ministry of Ayush and Ministry of Health, Government of India, what we are doing in India, Professor Sanjeev Sharma has spoken about that in brief. As you have very rightly said, the Unani system of medicine is a medical system that deals with the management of health and diseases. And it provides preventive, promotive, curative, and rehabilitative healthcare with holistic approach. Like Ayurveda, it is a holistic approach. The fundamental framework of the system is based on the deep philosophical insights and scientific principles, including the theory of four elements, that is the air, water, fire, and earth. And the four proximate qualities, those are hot, cold, wet, and dry, are described by Pythagoras and the Hippocrates theory of four humors. We call them as blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. And the admixture of different elements and their qualities in a specific ratio in a particular entity, whether living or non-living, it determines its temperament that we call in Unani system of medicine as mizaj. Human temperament is commonly denoted by the dominant humor, that is sanguine or phlegmatic or choleric and melancholic, which can be correlated with the temperament of diet, drugs, environmental factors, etc., as the entities of non-human universe being made by directly of elements and described in terms of qualitative temperament. In fact, the Unani system of medicine is holistic in nature and takes into account the whole personality rather than taking a reductionist approach towards the disease. The Unani physicians give prime importance to diet and the state of digestion in a person in both health and disease. The specific dietary regimens are recommended while treating patients according to their temperament, and proper diets are assumed to produce good humors, while improper ones are considered they produce bad humors. Thus, the humoral imbalance can be corrected by the coupled with proper diet and the medication, and the physician prescribe the drugs according to the temperament of patient, causative humor, faculty of organs involved, and the severity of the disease. These are the factors which are being considered by the physician while treating a person. As very rightly you mentioned that Unani system of medicine, as its name suggests, owes its immediate origin to ancient Greece. Since the Greeks adopted medicine from Egypt, the basic roots of the system go to Egypt and its sister civilization, Mesopotamia. Later on, it was developed, adopted and developed by Arabs and later by Persians before it came to India in the 8th century. In the 8th century AD, it was taken care by Indian government in India, and now it is a integral part of Ministry of Ayush, that is looking after for all the traditional systems of medicine in India. In Unani system of medicine, we take special care that while treating, we have different modes of treatment. For example, before going to the drugs, we try to treat the person with diets, that is the dietotherapy we call it. And if it doesn't work, then we resort back to the dawa, that is pharmacotherapy. Dawa or pharmacotherapy, we use either the single drugs or the compound drugs. And it is also supported by, we call it one regimenal therapy, or in Unani we call it ilaj bil tadbir, wherein we do the cupping, leeching, the massaging, and the venesection, etc. We have many other regimenal therapies which are available with us. And later on it doesn't work, then we refer it to the surgical interventions. Unani system of medicine is a very well-established system in the government of India and the Indian subcontinent, when we have almost more than 50,000 practitioners who are working around, and around more than 260 hospitals, around 1,700 dispensaries, and around 3,500 beds in the government hospitals. We have almost more than 650 Unani drug manufacturing units which are producing quality drugs and the products for the patients. We have a very robust educational system which is being governed by one council that is called as Central Council of Indian Medicine, which is looking after the standards and regulatory regulations of the Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha. We have almost more than 50 colleges which are imparting undergraduate as well as the postgraduate education and are regulated by that Central Council of Indian Medicine. As far as the integration part is concerned, Government of India, through the Ministry of Ayush, has organized and established many institutions, as Professor Sharma has already told you. Uh, that one of them is Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, which I'm looking after and coordinating the activities of today these days. The Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine is a body which is primarily meant for doing the researches in the Unani system of medicine. And the vision for this organization is to strive for excellence and global leadership in the field of Unani medicine by comprehensive research for quality assured and cost effective products to prevent, manage, and cure various diseases, as well as to attain the global leadership in research for treatment and prevention of emerging diseases of public health importance. In our council, that is the Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, Government of India, we are taking care of certain research programs and activities. For example, the clinical and clinico-pharmacological research, the fundamental research, drug standardization research program, survey and cultivation of medicinal plants, literary and research activities, and information, education, and communication activities, as well as many public health programs. The research network of CCRM is quite wide and is spread across all parts of the country. We have almost 22, 23 centers in the country, spreading from the top north from Kashmir, as down as Caroline South, and as east as Assam in India. We have in different states all our centers which are working day and night with our very qualified multidisciplinary officers who belong to different streams, that is Unani system of medicine or biochemistry, biotechnology, chemistry and pharmacology and pharmacognosy and pathology and modern medicine doctors, as well as botany. So we have the teams in these institutions which are multidisciplinary, which are carrying out many activities in those institutions in different parts of the country. We also have the accredited hospitals associated with our institutions and the drug standardization laboratories in different parts of the country, which are carrying out multidisciplinary researches in the United System of Medicine hubs. As far as the integration with modern medical health system is concerned, we are doing at many levels. For example, in physical integration of facilities in health services delivery network of the country, functional integration for achieving national health goals, involvement in national health programs, including the screening of patients and controls of non-communicable diseases, education integration by inclusion of modern medicine components of Unani courses and curricula, and clinical practice integration by doing the co-location centers in the tertiary care allopathic hospitals in the country. We are doing it multi-level, that how the integration need to be done. Other than that, we are also doing the research integration through interdisciplinary and collaborative research with integrated protocols and standard setting integration for quality assurance in products by using modern technological tools. We are having a very standard protocol that is for the collaborative research, the expertise which we have within in-house. Other than that, the expertise which is available in the leading scientific organizations in the country. We do the protocols in combination with those scientists, whether they are biotechnologists or nanotechnologists or pharmacologists or chemistry people. And we design those projects, and those projects are done in collaboration using the modern scientific tools to do the validations and to understand better the mechanism of action and the validations and the indications and proving the indications and authenticating the indications of these particular compound formulations or single drugs. As in Ayurveda, Professor Sharma told, we also have many pharmacopoeia which are standardized medicines when we validate them, standardize them and validate them through clinical trials in our institutions, and we publish them as a Government of India documents. We have the National Formulary of Unani Medicine. We have many volumes similarly of National Pharmacopoeia of Unani System of Medicine. We have many programs already running in the country, which are, for example, we have one program we call as NCPDCS. That is a wonderful program. It's called as National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases, and Stroke, wherein we have adopted Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha, and Homeopathy. We have adopted many districts in the country. For example, I adopted one district in Uttar Pradesh, one state of the country, wherein our doctors, we have identified them, and they are sitting and going to the nook and corner of that particular district and go to the villages, knock the doors of the people, try to identify and try to gauge what problems are going on in terms of the diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular disease and stroke. And one more thing what we are doing is the patients who are already taking the treatment with modern system of medicine, we add on certain Unani system of medicine treatment with yoga and other interventions, regimental therapies, and we are finding wonderful results. And that is a very true integration. By now we have seen almost 5 lakh patients under Unani coverage for that matter. It's a wonderful program which is going on at the moment. One more important thing is that we have set up the clinical setups, clinical settings and OPDs in the tertiary care hospitals of the modern system of medicine. For example, in Delhi, I have set up 4 such medical centers where Unani is under the same roof uh, of the allopathic system of medicine, when we have good interactions and wonderful dialogue is happening between the two systems, and we try to treat the patients through that composite approach, through Unani system of medicine, with that understanding and support and expertise of the other systems of medicine. Similarly, not only with allopathic system of medicine, we are also having the integration within the Ayush. And intra-Ayush integration, intra-Ayush coordination and support is also happening. I have already established one unit in the All Institute of Ayurveda in New Delhi, wherein all the Ayush sectors, for example, Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha and homeopathy, all work together and consult with each other and try to benefit the patient. Similarly, as I told you, we have the integration and collaborative research with leading scientific institutions in the country who are the best scientists and best minds of the country. They are also doing wonderful research, and those researches are being disseminated the knowledge through publishing the papers into very leading scientific journals. We have also come up with we have done many collaborations and memorandum of understandings with many leading institutions in the country. They are the modern medical hospitals or the institutions, leading universities of the country, which are A-grade universities and class universities. Similarly, we have also done international collaborations as well, which we'll be talking a bit later. For example, we have done good work in collaboration, and we have done good work in South Africa. We have also done a collaboration with the University of Mississippi in the United States of America. We have done collaborations with Persian Health Ministry. We have done similarly the collaboration with the University of Hamdard in Bangladesh. Other than these are the collaborations which we have done, and similarly in Tajikistan, which many of the collaborations and MOUs which we have done within India with many organizations. Similarly, we have standard settings, that is the integration of quality assurance in products by using the modern medical technology and those tools. We have very state-of-the-art developed laboratories. I have 4 or 5 such laboratories which are in different parts of the country, in Delhi as well as in Ghaziabad also we have, that is near to Delhi. And they are state-of-the-art laboratories wherein all the modern scientific tools, whether they are GCMS-MS or GCMS or XPTLC, such kind of instruments are already there. And we use different methodologies to identify whether the literary aspect of the drugs or the passport data or the pharmacognostical aspect, whether the morphological characters or macroscopic features or microscopic features or powder microscopy of those drugs. Similarly, we go for the physiochemical aspects like the foreign matter or ash values or refractive index or acid iodine and peroxide values or disintegration time or the SPTLC fingerprinting with marker compounds. Similarly, we also go for the microbial load or heavy metals or aflatoxins and pesticide residues in Unani system of medicine. I think this is the way how the Unani system of medicine, under the governance of Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, is trying to work here, trying to benefit the masses in the country, and trying to support the masses and the healthcare system and the burden in the country. I think this is a wonderful way that when we have started integration with allopathic systems of medicine and other Ayush systems of medicine, I think since traditional system of medicine can play a very pivotal role in promoting health and wellness and achieving the SDG Goal 3 for good health and well-being, I hope the need of the hour is to integrate and co-locate the traditional medicine facilities with the conventional medicine. And being the world leader of Unani system of medicine, India, I hope and I feel that India can offer good support to other countries for developing Unani system of medicine in those respective countries. And CCRUM, that is the Central Council for Research Unani Medicine, Government of India, can also take a lead in promoting and propagating Unani system of medicine under the aegis of Ministry of Ayush. Thank you very much, which I could give this brief of Unani system of medicine. Thank you so much for giving me.
Thank you so much, Asim. Just a really quick question for you. Can you give us a sense of how many people in India are really using the Ayush systems as their primary healthcare medicine?
As far as you already told that almost 80% of the people in the world are using traditional systems of medicine one way or the other, but in India it is particularly special, where people are culturally also associated with Ayurveda and Unani, and in crores in numbers, in millions in numbers, we have the people in every nook and corner of the country who are using the Unani system of medicine, along with the other Ayush systems of medicine. Recently, I would love to add one more thing, that in the event of this COVID pandemic, the Government of India through Ministry of Ayush has also launched many activities for increasing the immunity status of the people. And we have designed and developed many medicines in United System of Medicine and Ayush, other Ayush systems of medicine, which we have been doing very good prophylactic studies of more than around 2 lakh patients in the country. And besides that, we have also come up with certain integration in some leading hospitals of the country, where in some add-on therapies we are doing with the modern medical system, whatever they are giving for managing the affairs of COVID-19, mild to moderate patients admitted in their hospitals. We are also adding on the Unani treatment for those, that particular management for that particular controlling and managing that particular symptoms of that disease.
Thank you so much. Now let's bring the subject about the COVID-19 pandemic. There has been a lot of focus promoting the idea of boosting immunity and the role of Ayurveda that plays on it. A national management protocol for management of COVID-19 has also been issued in the Ministry of Ayush. The theme of the National Ayurveda Day celebrated last Friday was Ayurveda for COVID-19. So Sanjeev, how do you see Ayurveda's role in managing COVID-19? Do you find it effective?
Yeah. Kauta, this is a nice question to ask, and I am happy to share that government, as this COVID-19 was an unprecedented danger for and challenge to the entire humanity and the entire globe and to the medical infrastructure. But in India, the Ministry of Ayush was very much proactive, and it took preemptive and proactive steps to fight out and to contain this pandemic with its own tools. And Ayurveda played a very, very crucial role in that, and still playing a crucial role in controlling the this pandemic of COVID-19. First of all, in very initial phases of when COVID-19 was spreading in India, then in Ministry of Ayush, it released guidelines, general advisory to whole of the nation and whole of the globe that what to do from Ayush and Ayurveda side, what things are to be consumed, what lifestyle to be used during that period, and that advisory was so much loved and appreciated by the country and by the masses in the globe, that it was translated into so many languages, foreign languages also, and there was all of a sudden increase in the export of the Ayurveda drugs due to that release of advisory. And then later on, when Prime Minister addressed the nation regarding the COVID-19, and it was the lockdown condition, then also in the third, he reiterated 7 steps to contain this COVID-19 pandemic. Then in the third step, he talked about the Ayush and Ayurveda, that the people, they should use the Ayurvedic remedies and home remedies or whatsoever the guidelines which the Ministry of Ayush has released, people should follow. After that, the Ministry of Ayush, it constituted a committee, and that committee was the Interdisciplinary Ayush Research and Development Task Force, and that task force was under the chairmanship of Professor Bhushan Patwardhan, who happens to be the vice chairman of University Grant Commission of India. And under that task force, the proposals from Ayush sectors, research proposals from Ayush sectors were called for the research on Ayush interventions for the prevention, for the management of COVID-19 pandemic. And those were screened, scrutinized, and finalized, and then generic protocols by that national task force, that interdisciplinary task force were released. And on the basis of those and generic protocols, the various research activities in India, they started, and not only in India, but in collaboration with other partner countries, those research protocols, they were research projects, they were started. And in India, so many research projects, almost 90% research projects are already complete, and they are at the stage of publication. And we are very happy to say that the outcome and initial trends of those studies and the outcome or trends of those studies are very much encouraging, and they are very much satisfying. And after publication, we can share the actual and real data that what we have done. But it is nice to share that the CTRI, which is the this clinical trial registry of India, where the maximum Ayush trials were registered during this period of 9 months. The total Ayush trials which were registered there has outnumbered the trials which were initiated by the conventional system of medicine. And out of those total Ayush trials, more than 67% were of Ayurveda. From Ayurveda side, and almost 90% are already complete. They are at the publication stage. Then the distribution of Ayush drugs. This was the major step which was taken by the government sector or government institutions, as well as by the private institutions, as well as by the industry also. The pan-India distribution of Ayush products for the prevention of or as a prophylactic measure was done by these stakeholders to the population, and it was accepted and appreciated by, and even this process is continues till now, that people are accepting all those and distributing, and the population is accepting those things, that means in the form of decoctions, in the forms of pills, in the forms of chyawanprash, in the form of some powder or some pills. Everything is being distributed to contain the, and that has helped a lot for this purpose. And now the government of India has also released a national management protocol that is under national clinical management protocol based on Ayurveda and yoga for COVID-19. And this is a protocol which says, or which contains the prophylactic management. It contains the management protocol for asymptomatic positive patient. It contains the protocol or intervention for symptomatic, mild symptomatic patient, moderately symptomatic patients, and also the patients who have recovered from COVID and they were hospitalized, but still they are having some residual comorbidities, and those have been they are having some kind of problems, and for that also the Ministry of Ayush has released the protocol. So on that basis, in different institutions of India, including my institution, we have established Ayush post-COVID rehabilitation centers, and those centers are working very nicely. They are providing they are providing counseling, they are providing the medicines, they are providing the panchakarma procedures for the patient where they are required, they are providing the yoga procedures, they are also providing the meditation and all those facilities, in-house facility, the facility for the stay of the patient's attendants. So these all facilities are being taken care by the post-COVID rehabilitation centers of Ayush, and in my institute also we are taking care of. So in this way, the Ministry of Ayush has largely worked upon this COVID-19 pandemic, and mainly the research focus of Ayurveda was on four candidates. Those were Guruchi Ghanvati, that is the medicine prepared from the Tinospora cordifolia, which is a very popular herb in India. Then ashwagandha, that is Vedania somnifera, that is also a very important plant in India and widely used and practiced and is having so many properties within it. Then pipali, that is Piper longum. And then Ayush 64. Ayush 64 is a polyherbal formulation of our research council, that is CCRAS, and we have done trials with the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, other medical colleges. We have done large population-based studies. Every national institute was given the target of to study the prophylaxis on at least 20,000 number of persons, and we are happy to say that we have completed all those population-based cohort studies. Similarly, the All India Institute of Ayurveda, they carried out a very typical cohort study, and that is perhaps the largest cohort study, that is the distribution of Ayurveda immunity kit to 80,000 coronavirus police personnels of Delhi police. And the outcome of all these projects, all these research projects is very, very nice, and hopefully that we shall be coming with good publications, thrust publications, and then we shall be sharing the exact data what we have done so far. So these are the steps which in the Ministry of Ayush has taken to combat, to contain, to minimize the impact of COVID-19 within the country.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev. Indeed, a very interesting argument. Now, Asim, how do you see Unani's effectiveness in the management of COVID-19? Very briefly.
Similarly, on the pattern of other Ayush systems, the United System of Medicine is also taking a lot of leads in managing and trying to control this spread. The basic approach of United System of Medicine in controlling is the increasing the immunity status of the person. Because in United System of Medicine, we consider that it is the body within the body that we call as medicatus naturae. That unless and until body is considered to be strong, uh, patient has to otherwise suffer with the disorder. Same is the case with the pandemic with this COVID-19. So we are also taking a lot of studies in different parts of the country through our various institutions which are spread over the country. And as I told you, the basic focus is on the immunity enhancement. We have many medicines in the United System of Medicine which are known for immunity enhancement, and we are giving those drugs either in single way or single drugs or as compound formulations. And many trials in different parts of the country we are continuing at the moment also, and some of them, as I told you, some prophylactic studies, population-based studies we have already concluded. They are being analyzed, and hopefully the results which are right now we are seeing, they are very encouraging. The system is same. We have a very wonderful, robust system wherein we have multi-level of scientists who are looking after. There is as Dr. Sanjeev Sharma told, that there is a senior group of scientists who are the multidisciplinary task force who basically looks into those protocols, and accordingly we disseminate that through these different parts of our of the country, our institutions, wherein those studies are being carried out. We are finding wonderful results. Many papers are being communicated, and some are in the process. The structure is ready. Hopefully, very soon we will be able to share the results of those studies with the audience across the globe. One more thing is there, as I told earlier, also that we are also taking up certain uh, uh, add-on therapies. That is also, it is not a cure for management. I mean, cure for the COVID-19. We are not claiming for that, but we are coming for immunity enhancement as well as certain symptomatic management. We have some known drugs for such kind of symptoms. We are very important and trying to take care of that particular thing. We are getting very encouraging results by combining this, and this is a very wonderful form of integration as we are talking of the Ayush systems of medicine or Unani system of medicine with the modern system of medicine. These are the tertiary care hospitals. So a lot of activities in different sectors in Ayush are going on, including Unani system of medicine. Same with the different state governments in the government of India. They have also distributed lakhs in number in the medicines for immune enhancement in different parts of the country. And that is giving wonderful results. We have found out that in those areas where these medicines have been distributed, and this is now going on for last more than 6 months. So wonderful results we have seen, and very positive results we have seen in those areas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asim. Now, this question really goes for both. How does the future look for the Ayush integration in modern medicine today? And how can we guarantee a mixed access to both that is affordable to the universal patient? Sanjeev, let's start with you.
Yeah. So far as India is concerned, as I already said, that there is a pluralistic health system existence is there in India, and now Government of India is very sincerely and seriously planning out of that. One information I want to share with you and on this platform, that Government of India on 29th of September has issued a notification regarding the integration of the health systems, because health system which are they are having the common target. The target is the patient itself. They are the various pathways. Now the question of to combine those pathways, but not mixing that. There is difference in between the combining and mixing. So mixing is to be avoided, but they should combine so that they should have a mutual respect to each other. Both the systems should have, or all the systems, they should have the respect with each other. And government of India, the Niti Aayog, that is the major body of India, has constituted a committee to work on this, and under that committee, the four groups for the integration of Ayush and conventional health system has been set. And four groups are the one group is for the education, second group is for the research, third group is for the clinical practice, and fourth group is for the administration and other parts of the integration. And in first group, that is in the education part, I am also the part of that. Then Now we are planning that how to integrate the education of all the systems. So as Professor Asimji rightly discussed, that there is need of integration of within the Ayush, that the because Ayush is the combination of six different systems. They also need integration within themselves. They should also understand the principles of each other. This is one part, and second part is the integration with the conventional integration of these Ayush systems with the conventional health system. So these groups, the four groups which I already mentioned, they are working on it, and this is the need of the day, that the health systems of different countries, they should integrate with each other, and whatsoever the strengths of one system, those should be utilized for the benefit of the patient. And at the same time, patient should be looked as a whole, not as a cell, not as a tissue, not as as an organ, not as a system, but as a whole. And that is the beauty of the conventional or traditional health systems, that they see the whole of the human being as a single entity. And when we shall start seeing the human being as a single entity, we can address so many problems, we can prevent so many diseases. And that is the idea of the government of India. And for that purpose, these four groups in the country, they are working very hard, and every week meetings are occurring. And definitely we are having some plan, and those plans, although cannot be shared right now, they are not at the public platform, but still I say that definitely India will come up with a very good model of integration, and that integration will become more and more and richer as the time will pass. But here the word of caution is also there, that integration does not mean that there will be mixing of the pathies or systems. There will be the original principles of each and every system, they will be kept intact, while the integration will be in a different way, maybe in the form of infrastructure, maybe in the form of diagnostic, maybe in the form of other laboratory parameters or laboratory tests. But the practice and principles of each systems, they need to be kept integrated. They need to be kept intact, so that the practice and the original knowledge of the system, that can be utilized for the welfare of the mankind. And this is really required globally, because every system is having its own strengths and own weaknesses. So we are here to use the strengths of each and every system for the welfare of patient, for the welfare of mankind.
What you're saying is extremely important to understand. It's the integration of both systems, not necessarily a mixture of both. So I would like to ask now, Asim, how can we guarantee that integration that is both affordable and it's easy to get for the universal patient? Because after all, this is all about providing the best possible treatment to specific patients. So how can we guarantee it?
Thank you very much for going for this question. One thing, let me say what Professor Sharma has told. I think this is the policy what we are already working with, and a lot of activities are already going on for integrating different health systems. And that's true that while we are trying to integrate, we have to keep the individuality intact of each system. That is there, and many activities, as he very rightly told, that are already going on, but it is a bit early to conclude on that. One thing we have to understand, that this is the high time now for the benefit of the patient, because target is the patient who should be treated, who should be given the best possible management and health care. For that, we have to break the walls. We have to understand each other more better, and we need to understand at every level, whether this is education, we need to understand who we are, what are our strengths and weaknesses. And similarly, at every practice level or investigations level or diagnostic level, we have to integrate with under one roof. This is one, and this is a fact, and this is the need of the hour. We also have to appreciate that integrative medicine is indeed a very developing branch of medicine that combines mainstream medical therapies and complementary and alternative medicine therapies, for which there is some high quality scientific evidence of safety and effectiveness. WHO has proposed one working definition, the focus of which is providing the right care in the right place. Integrated service delivery is the organization and management of health services so that people get the care they need, when they need, in ways they are user friendly, and achieve the desired results and provide the value for money of the people. When the world is witnessing a rise in the incidence of diseases, the demand for affordable health care is also increasing manifold across the globe. Health systems based on a single medical discipline probably is not enough to combat diseases and challenges to the public health across the globe. That's why an effective and robust public health system is the need of the hour to improve the health and well-being of people across the nations. Pluralistic approach to health by way of making traditional systems of medicine more accessible in the healthcare delivery system and integrated health services are an ideal and affordable solution to meet the demands of public health. Lifestyle interventions and utilization of preventive, promotive, curative, regenerative, and rehabilitative healthcare are thus the preferred options to curb the health risks factors among the population. The positive features of the Ayush systems, namely their diversity and the flexibility, their accessibility, the affordability of the medicines, a broad acceptance by a big section of the general public, the comparatively low cost and growing economic value have great potentials to make them providers of healthcare that the larger sections of our people across the globe need. The Ministry of Ayush is working on mainstreaming of Ayush by making every effort to promote the use of traditional medicine in national public health systems. The effort of the ministry are focused on mainstreaming the potentials of Ayush by ensuring access to Ayush services, introduction of yoga in schools and workplaces for health promotion, building research and public health skills for preventive and promotive healthcare, Ayush orientation at grassroots healthcare workers and village health sanitation and nutrition committees, bridge courses for mid-level healthcare providers, the certification mechanism for traditionally community healthcare and providers, the National Ayush Health Mission, which is a very important mission of Government of India that was launched in the year 2014, is one of the major steps taken by the Government of India. The National Ayush Mission was started to promote Ayush medical systems by providing cost-effective Ayush services through upgrading the Ayush hospitals and dispensaries and co-locations in primary health centers, the district health centers, and the district hospitals. The other objectives of this mission include upgradation of Ayush educational institutions and upgradation of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani and homeopathy pharmacies, the drug testing laboratories, and strengthening of Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha and homeopathy drug enforcement mechanisms, and supporting the cultivation of medicinal plants to provide sustained supply of quality raw material. Ministry of Ayush in India is playing a lead role in one more important scheme, that is the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, and in around 12,500 health and wellness centers are being managed and are going to be being established by Ayush streams, and the remaining centers, they are almost more than 1 lakh. They are the centers which are the wellness part would be based on Ayush principles in a seamless model. Government of India has come up with a model that in every small village, we are coming up with the Ayush Wellness Center. We are trying to come up with an idea that why shall not we tell the people and educate the people that how to live healthy so that they could avoid the diseases. The diseases come later and the treatment comes after that. We are trying to make them understand through the Ayush systems of medicine how best way they can live, which the Ayush is very strong in. So with these understanding, because what I understand is that one single medical system probably across the globe, any country, probably that is not going to sustain and going to give the whole response to the needs of the people. I think it has to be integrated, and this is the high time now. And as far as the Ayush in Government of India is concerned, we are very well established, very well structured, and wonderful structures are being further grown. I hope that India could play a very good role in integrating other medical systems across the globe. Thank you very much. Over to you, Alkota.
Thank you so much, Asim. Now we're going to be proceeding with some of the questions from our audience. And the first one, I would like to say this goes for Sanjeev. What is the main barrier to integrate the Indian traditional medicine, such as Ayurveda, in the modern healthcare setting? If you can name one barrier, what would it be?
No, there is not any particular barrier in integrating these systems. However, the we have to change our mindset, and only the mindset is the barrier. And once we are coming out of that mindset and that silico, then then definitely we shall be open and we shall be integrating the systems, and that is the only one barrier which we have to open up, and we are opening it up, and it is possible now. Now everyone is with open mind. They are accepting each other, they are respecting each other, there is mutual respect for each other. They are trying to understand, and government is trying to make such a thing that there should be some part of the in the curriculum, there should be some part of other system of medicine in their curriculum, so that they can understand the system well, and they can respect each other, and that is the main thing which was the barrier. And I think now that is not the barrier there, and we are coming up.
Thank you so much. Now, one last question for you, Sanjeev. How does Ayurveda translate in the public health, especially in environmental health and planetary health?
Yeah, Ayurveda definitely, as initially I said, that Ayurveda talks about the nature. And once it talks about the nature, it talks about its and how to preserve the nature, how to behave with the nature, and how to behave ourselves according to the nature. These are the important facts. And once we understand this thing, that the role of the environment, the role of this planet, the role of this universe is very crucial for so far as our health is concerned. A health that include the physical health and mental health and social spiritual health, then we shall definitely respect this universe and this globe, because we have to respect this globe, and Ayurveda teaches us this. And if we are respecting, we are behaving according to the requirement of the nature, and we are preserving the nature, then definitely we can prevent the diseases. And once this is done, definitely the burden of the diseases which is globally increasing, and that will come down drastically. So the Ayurveda has to play a major role in environmental health, in the preservation of the environment, in the preservation of the nature. That is very, very crucial. Otherwise, we cannot remain healthy on this planet if we are not respecting the environment, we are not respecting the nature. So there is a very important principle of Ayurveda, that is yat pinde tat brahmande. That means whatsoever is existing in the universe, that is within our body. And if something is disturbed in the nature, that causes disturbance in our body. And there are continuously this nature is dynamic, it is changing so far as seasons are concerned, so far as days are concerned. There is day, there is night, there are hots and there are summers, seasons are there, and accordingly changes in our body, they also do occur, and we have to follow, and we have to change our lifestyle according to those changes, natural changes. And if we do accordingly, then definitely we can stay healthy.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev. Now,
Yes.
we have only 2 minutes left. This last question goes to Asim. So, very briefly, do you find that there are subjects where the two schools of medicines are not compatible? So, I believe this goes to Asim. Are there times when the two schools of medicine, I believe modern and traditional, are not compatible?
I don't find that way. Probably they are not that way, that they are not comfortable. In fact, as very rightly we discussed in our talk before, that by maintaining the individuality of both the systems, by respecting each other, probably we can go along. Right now, many models in Indian government, under Indian government governance, we are seeing here, and we are practicing them. As very rightly Dr. Professor Sharma also told, that various committees are working on it. And while trying to understand, as I told, that while trying to understand each other, we need to respect each other. First, we need to understand each other. And that starts from the school level education. Probably at the school level education, we need to incorporate certain information about the Ayush systems to the modern science people, and the modern sciences students to the Ayush systems of the student people. We need to understand each other from that level. And the medical system courses, when they go to the graduation, post-graduation, there are also certain elements where we understand each other in a better way. Once we understand each other in a better way, and these models which are working with each other in the different hospitals, in tertiary care hospitals, in Government of India and allopathic hospitals, as well as the Unani hospitals, and in population-based studies and other, Many models Government of India has experimented and done, and very successful results are available with that. I don't find there is any confrontation between the systems up to the time that we respect each other and we understand each other better. But I feel very strongly that I think for the major benefit of the people, because that is the beneficiary, I think all the systems should come together, and whatever the best in them they have, probably this is the need of the hour that we shall provide to the patients instead of having these walls of not understanding each other. I think this is the high time we shall integrate.
Thank you so much, Asim. Well, this is a wrap for the session. Indeed, a fascinating one. Thank you so much to our speakers for participating, and thank you for watching. Please be sure to join the next live discussion in half an hour about the elimination of sleeping sickness. But first, take a time to stretch and relax in the next yoga session.
Dear friends, on behalf of the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, I welcome you to this short yoga session. We will do 3 yoga sessions which you can easily practice sitting in front of computer screens. Let us start the session. Hand to feet pose. Precautions: person suffering with lumbar spondylitis, cervical spondylitis, recent abdominal surgery, abdominal hernia, and in pregnancy, avoid this practice. Practicing method: sit straight, keep your back and neck erect, shoulder open. Slowly and deeply breathe in. Raise both the hands from side above the head, palm facing towards front. Slowly and completely breathe out. Bend forward. Place the both palm side to the respective legs. Maintain this posture for few breaths. Then slowly, deeply breathe in and raise the body and hands up and bring the hands down. Repeat this for 2 to 3 times. Benefits: improves digestion and metabolism, relieves from constipation, reduces abdominal fat, improves the spine flexibility. Next, half moon pose. Precaution: person undergone recent back and neck surgeries should avoid this practice. Practicing method: sit straight, keep your back and neck erect, place both the hands comfortably over the waist. Try to place both the elbow parallel to each other. Slowly drop the head back, breathe out, bend backward from the lumbar region. Keep your eyes open and try to maintain this final posture for few breaths. Breathe in and slowly come up and return to initial posture. Repeat this practice for 2 to 3 times. Benefits: best to relieve from low back pain and neck pain. Stretches, strengthens neck and lumbar muscles. Now we will practice pranayama, deep breathing exercise, Kapalabhati, active exhalation and passive inhalation. Precautions: person suffering from hypertension, epistaxis, glaucoma, hernia, and recent abdominal surgeries, and in pregnancy, this practice should be avoided. Practicing method: sit straight, keep neck and back erect, place both the hands comfortably on respective thigh. Start exhaling forcibly by contracting and flapping the abdominal muscles for 10 to 15 strokes. Relax and adopt normal breathing. Repeat this practice for 3 to 5 rounds. Benefits: improves digestion and metabolism, strengthens abdominal muscle, remove the abdominal fat, relieves from the constipation. Thank you for practicing. Enjoy the GHF session today. For any queries, please reach out to Embassy of India.